Mobility is something that I had not deeply thought of until I took English 121. When I first contemplated the word mobility, I thought of the things that enabled me to get from point A to point B, like the public transportation system. But the definition of mobility is not so simple. Social mobility is a privilege that some of us take for granted. Food, clothes, quality social life, verification of education, and housing. The essential things that empower us to be more proactive in leading our lives. We can get too comfortable with our granted mobility, but we must remember, mobility is not a right. Although decent mobility will be a birthright for everyone in an ideal world, the access to better lives is not so plentiful, especially in our capitalistic American culture. Our status of mobility is determined by our race, gender, physical wellness, wealth, and so many other factors that are often out of our control. We have to be more appreciative of the mobility that we are allowed and work to bring the same opportunities to those that are less fortunate. I volunteered at the Urban Rest Stop in downtown Seattle. Downtown URS has been serving the homeless and low-income families with the necessary hygiene needs. Their free-of-charge services allow them to get ready for work and put their best foot forward in their professional and personal lives. I met the URS employees and other volunteers that were directly impacting the lives of patrons. They had taken the issue of poor wealth distribution into their own hands and worked to make patrons' lives better. I also met patrons that did not fit the stereotype of homelessness that is stuck around the mass. It was a memorable experience that changed my view of homelessness and social mobility. The class discussion, Mobility as Right versus Privilege, helped me formulate my own opinion about mobility. My stance on the topic lay on a spectrum. While I lean toward mobility as privilege, we ought to work toward making mobility a right. It is important for me to know this because it makes me a better person according to my personal values. The fact that I'm lucky enough to comfortably go to school makes me humble, empathetic every day to people that are not as fortunate. It allows me to be less selfish and to work toward a future where one day we will stand on equal grounds.